Today we'll be going over how to turn your HLG footage into a 16mm film look using the CinePrint16 Film emulation. Previously, we've gone over how to transform your S-Log2 footage into a 16mm film look, though we've had a few questions on how to do it for HLG. So, with no further ado, we'll go straight into DaVinci Resolve and we'll show you. So as you can see, we are in DaVinci Resolve in the color tab, and we're using this clip of a Ford Mustang. First thing we're going to do is go to Gallery, and wherever you saved your CinePrint16 power grade, you're going to go to that folder, and you're going to right click, and you're going to press Apply Grade. And that will create this node tree of CinePrint16. So as you can see, the footage isn't looking great, however, we'll be able to sort this out quite quickly. The main thing people get confused about when it comes to HLG is color space transform. What do you put for the input color space or the input color gamma? And that's what we're going to show. So hybrid log gamma isn't a true log profile. Therefore, all we're going to do is click on CST, click on Effects, and for the input color space, we're going to put Rec 709. And for the input gamma, we're also going to press Rec 709. Now, as you can see, it fixes the footage straight away. And for HLG, that's what you want to do. For both the input color space and the input gamma, you can do Rec 709. For S-Log2, for the input gamma, you'd put S-Log2. But for HLG, there is no HLG profile, therefore, we're going to use the alternative, which is Rec 709. And that's all you have to know. So, the first thing we're going to do with this clip is, now that we've done our color space transform, what you're going to do is leave the output color space and the output gamma to RE Lexa and RE Log C. Because essentially what's happening is it's turning the HLG profile into an RE log profile, and then from that it uses the RE log profile to then apply a 16mm film look. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go to camera exposure, and then we're going to go to color white balance afterwards, as it will be easier to see the color shifts within the image after we expose the image correctly. So we've clicked camera exposure. So what we're going to do is going to go and click on our color wheels, and then all we're going to do is drag the offset downwards until we get a nice point. So that's okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is that now that we're happy with the exposure, we can now go to the camera white balance. And then we're going to go to effects, and then all we're going to do with Sony cameras, you get this magenta shift, which is quite annoying most of the time, but can be easily fixed using this camera white balance. So all you have to do is go to tint, and then you just drag that up. So, and as you can see, that magenta now has shifted into a more green tone. So if it's too much, you can drag it a bit down and just move it to a point that you're happy with. With the white balance taken care of, you can see the look is essentially achieved. However, we can keep going a bit further with this if we wanted to. If we look at a before and after, so this is a before and that is an after, and in our opinion it looks great. However, as you can see, the halation in this image is a bit too strong, and to change the halation is you go into this halation node and you right click and press show compound node, and in this node you're going to go to blur, and then you can go down and click this tool right here. And then we're just going to go over to where the halation is a bit too strong, and all we're going to do to reduce the amount of halation is just drop this down. So this was a before, after. So as you can see, we still do have the halation within the image, but it's not too strong and it's more believable. The next thing we're going to do is decide on what look we prefer. Do we prefer a Cine film look or a print film look? What I mean is, if we go down to these nodes at the bottom, you'll see we have a Cine node and a print film node. These are essentially where the looks are created. So if I turn the Cine node off, you can see the footage goes back to its almost log format. So if I turn the Cine back on, you'll be able to see the look is applied. And if I turn the Cine off and go and apply the print film node by clicking on the number, you'll be able to see we get a completely different look. So this is the print film look, and that's the Cine look. And then you can alternate between what you like best. So print film, It's kind of nice. And then Cineon. So for this image, we're just going to stick with Cineon. However, you can go on and choose whatever look you think works best for your footage. So the next thing we're going to do is create another node after this saturation node, and we're just going to bring this down into this gap. The creator of this film emulation, Tom, has made this gap here for you to do your own adjustments. If you want to do some color changes, bleach bypass, or do any masking, this is where you do it. So here, we're going to place this node here, and all we're going to do is go to effects, go down and go to glow, and then grab that and place that on top of the node. So all we're going to do now is with the headlights, just so we get a better highlight roll off within these lights, we're going to use the glow. So as you can see, before and after, which is already quite nice. So then if I zoom out, and what I'm going to do is just increase the shine threshold, reduce the spread, and I think that's good. Now we have a much better highlight roll off within the image, and the image looks more filmic. So without the glow, you have a before and an after. And what we're going to do is create one more node, and all we're going to do is go to the gain and shift it towards the blue a bit. Like that. So that was before and after. Whatever preference works for you, you can do that, but for this clip, I've just put a bit more blue into the image just so we can get a nicer look. So if you are using the studio version of Resolve, you'll be able to then go into Denoise and apply your noise reduction. So as you can see, this was before the noise reduction and this was after. To tweak this, click on this icon right here and then just adjust these numbers. To decrease the color noise, just increase this number where it says chroma. If you want to decrease the luma noise, we advise going on to temporal NR, going and clicking free, delinking this, and then increase the luma. You'll be able to see before and after. It's very subtle, it's quite hard to see. But yeah, if you do have the studio version, you can do that. We're just going to leave that off for now. Also, if you do have the studio version, you'll be able to apply grainier, which is already applied. If you don't have the studio version of Resolve, don't worry. We have put free film overlays in the description of this video titled Free Video Assets, where you'll be able to find free film overlays that you can apply on top of your footage, change the composite mode to overlay, and you'll have grain on your image. That's what we did when we was using the free version of Resolve. So I hope that was helpful. Of course, if you do have any questions, just put them in the comments. We'll be more than happy to answer them. Thank you.